Hey everyone, John Cora here, Marketing Director for McClinton Chevrolet Mitsubishi. As you're likely aware, the United Auto Workers, or UAW, are currently striking. As a Chevrolet dealership, this does impact our business. But how so? I wanted to learn more about this subject, so I sat down this week with our General Sales Manager, Wyn Bowden, to discuss the strike's impact on our dealership, our customers, and what effects this will have for the future.
Well, it's all very uncertain, right? We already believe that right now GM is striking at the plant where the Colorado Canyon, and there's another model made there, I can't remember now. And of course, right, the Colorado being just about the most popular thing, the new Colorado is slick and people really want it. And that's unfortunate. I'm sure it's intentional, right? It's strategy and well played, I guess, to get General Motors' attention, I would assume. And I'm sure it will. We certainly don't need to go into the details of the strike itself, but it's going to affect inventory. I hope it doesn't last long, and I'm not overly worried because we've tackled a lot of the crazy that's come our way in the last few years, and I think we've done a good job at that. Well, the reporting that I've read, and I tend to get into the wormhole a little bit, probably too much about it, but it's important. So the consistent reporting I've seen shows that for every OEM manufacturing job, especially these three, Stellantis, Ford, and General Motors, right? That's where the focus is right now. One manufacturing job, plant job, if you will affect 6 other jobs from there, stemming from there, right? And so that is everything from parts manufacturing to transportation, shipping, trucking, wherever it's coming to us. And that in itself is hey, it's trickle down, right? It's effective in that way, and negatively, right? It's going to affect the economy negatively, and that's unfortunate. But again, we've got to stay positive as we tend to do, and navigate through this the proper way. And I think right now the biggest thing is everybody needs to focus on what they can control, right? Us from a business to our individual staff members and then to the consumer. The best way to be positive is let's don't let it overwhelm us, and again, figure out how to stay positive and control what we can control. I don't see that it would, right? I mean, it's literally 2 different scenarios in different worlds, if you will. Yeah. So the Japanese corporations are run completely differently from United States corporations, right? I mean, they don't have the ability to unionize and do all those types of things. So.
And I even asked you the other day because I wasn't sure about this. Like some Chevrolet vehicles are manufactured overseas, or in Mexico, Korea, even China. But you said even though those are in countries that may not have unions, it will still be impacted by this, correct?
Yeah, because I think that it's gonna. Who knows how it will? But the instant reaction I get to that is from the shipping standpoint, right? I mean, those independent shipping companies are probably anticipating, right? So they're going to just shift their focus, their availability, their willingness, prioritizing towards manufacturers probably that aren't going to have that issue, right? They're going to kind of move and say all hands on deck over here. Now that's speculation. I don't know, but I don't think it's an ignorant speculation. I mean, I just to avoid sounding like a car salesman. Genuinely, I think if somebody is in the market considering buying a vehicle, they should go ahead and pull the trigger, right? I certainly don't anticipate or speculate that this strike is going to make car prices go down, right? So everything is affected by this, right? I mean, the The best thing to provide used cars, which we pride ourselves on having a very nice used car operation, right? We always have, and we certainly plan to always have a nice used car operation. That being said, it's all about getting the right vehicles at the right fair prices, right? And the best thing to provide nice, good used inventory are new cars, right? That's what births trades, right? Is the best thing is the production of new cars, then create good trades, right? The consumer trading in their other vehicle for that. Well, that's already been strained for the last 2.5, pushing 3 years, right? Through the pandemic. That the inventory levels have significantly been down. And now, I'm not saying, I don't know that they ever need to get back to where they were, right? Before pre-pandemic. That was too many vehicles. But so the best thing to produce used inventory are new cars. And again, that's been strained, right? So that's been a struggle, right? And then there's those big box used operations like CarMax and Carvana. It'll be interesting to see how they navigate through this. But they inherently are already driving the prices up of used cars, right? Because they don't have what we do have, which is a new car franchise OEM dealerships, right? So they don't have that ability to take in a vehicle the best way possible, right? And so they've got to go and do whatever it takes and claw at these cars and drive up the price, right? Because everyone's clawing for them. Yeah. Because again, to survive, the only way to do that is to have the inventory. If we don't have enough new, we've got to go out and buy used wherever we can. Right? So we try to get them on private party. We try to get them wherever we can. At auction. Auction is the most popular way to go, and those big box operations are driving that price up. And this is only going to further compound that mentality, which is drive those prices up. So I certainly see that being an issue moving forward. And so anybody that was considering buying a vehicle, or if they've been looking at something on our lot, I would certainly advise them to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, because eventually we use software just like that, just like the consumer is searching for a vehicle using a tool, some sort of website to go to. We are also using the same things that drive all that. We have sophisticated software that's feeding all that. So our software now, just like they're guided by whatever they're looking at, we're guided by it too, right? So our software might eventually tell us, as this strike further bleeds out through and becomes more and more effective and rooted in there, that software is more than likely going to tell us to pull the prices up on these cars, start pushing them back up. And that's what people should do. If they're considering buying one, they should buy it. Absolutely. I mean, we already see lasting effects of all these major decisions that it's not just a light switch to just turn it off and go back to normal. It never happens like that. There's cause and effect to everything. So no matter how small decisions people make on an individual basis, to a corporation that has Ford with 57,000 employees, and GM. I mean, collectively those three, it's catastrophic how many employees they have. And then if you take for every one of those, six other jobs become affected from it, we're talking 1 million jobs, right? At least. So that's huge. Yeah. First thing, we've never charged over MSRP, and we certainly don't plan to moving forward. We don't see that is the best way to have long-term business strategy, right? This is our community. We have no company without our community, right? And so we have no intentions of ever taking advantage of our community. It just isn't a long business strategy. That being said, on top of it, we do have dealers. We have dealers all the time. I turn down 6 emails at least a day from dealers all the way up to New York offering $5,000 over invoice to purchase. Now that's up to, like Duramaxes, right? That's a desirable piece. They're not making very many of them, and it's in high demand, right? And so now, let me be clear, we're never going to sell to those dealerships, those vehicles, because the reason why they're anticipating us that aggressively, right? They might only offer us maybe $750 or $1,000 over invoice for an Equinox, but they might offer us $5,000 or $6,000 up to $7,000 on a Duramax. We would never do that because we only get the credit, if you will, from General Motors or any manufacturer if it's a retail sale, right? So that's the allocation. That's how it works, right? If we sell one, eventually we get to replenish that from the manufacturer, right? We sell one and another one comes up in its place. Now, it doesn't happen overnight like we want, but eventually that's the strategy, right? Well, that only counts to a retail sale. So if we sell it to another dealer to dealer like that, there's no credit for that. That's why the other dealer is trying to incentivize us to sell it to them. We still won't do it because, again, that's not a long-term business strategy, right? It might be some quick bird in the hand money. That being said, though, that's why we feel very confident, too, about the pricing where we are now. If a dealer is willing to offer me that much money over, why I can't deviate from the business model I have now on the pricing that I've got. And that's hard for some people to understand, but that's the reality. The truth is easy, and that's what's happening still to this day right now. On top of it, having fair pricing on our inventory, on all new inventory, Mitsubishi, Chevy included, we have a 10-year, million-mile powertrain limited warranty. So that comes with every vehicle out there. We also have now, and then our used inventory. Most of our used inventory qualifies for us to put that on there as well. We also like to show all of our customers too the wrap, right, that we like to pair with that because people are keeping their cars longer than usual based on the obvious reasons, right, of inventory shortages. And so we like to, when customers come in to look at numbers, we like to present them since we're giving you the powertrain, by putting that in all of our vehicles, it allowed us to negotiate down the pricing for extended service for a full wrap of the car, right? Things that protect like the air conditioner and the computer modules in there and the mechanical lift gate if it has it, or the mirrors that roll in, right? It covers basically everything except for wear and tear items, right? Windshield wiper blades, brake pads and oil and stuff. Those are wear and tear items. Those are just tires. Those things are what come down. But we have other little packages, right, to help with things like that.
All right, so that was a lot of great knowledge. I appreciate Wyn taking the time to sit down with me to explain more about that strike. If you are curious about current inventory, we have that link below in the video description, or you can always call us 304-422-6501. Check us out online, mcclintonchevy.com. And always, I appreciate it if you like or comment on the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.